So hi there. In this tutorial we're going to look at singletons, and we're also going to look at dummies and how you can use dummies with singletons to just make your life easier. So in this setup I've got now, it's just a really simple basic setup that's similar to a lot of games. You've got point of entry, which would be like your main menu, your opening screen, and then you've got another level with your actual gameplay and that. And you see if I just run it here, I'll just set it up so this is our main menu. See, we've got a button here, load level, and then just a label saying here we're in the level. And then I've set it so if I mouse click, I'll go back to my main menu. So at the moment we don't have any singletons or anything like that. So let's add one. Now people use singletons for all sorts of different things. For this example, I'm just gonna use a level loader. This is an example. So we'll create an empty game object. We now actually need to create our level loader. And then we, first of all, so we need to create our singleton. I've seen people do this a few different ways. I like to do it this way. I like to create a private static level loader, and I like to call it underscore instance. I was always taught to use m underscore for private member variables. Or maybe not static variables, but a lot of people just use underscore, but I like underscore. And then what I'll do is I'll make a property, again static, call that instance, and then just put a getter on it. And then so we've got our singleton there. Now I'm sure many of you are already aware, some of you might not be, but this is how we can get scripts to talk to each other. So you can see I could be in a different script now. I could just call level loader dot instance, and I've got access to then everything in the level loader. So that's all good. So for a level loader, let's just put in a variable saying let's load level, take some name. Now, of course, if this was a real level loader, it would do something different. It'd show you a loading screen and maybe some other fancy stuff. But for this example, we're just going to directly load the level through this. But we're going to load our levels through this level loader. We're not going to call this application.load level directly from any of these scripts. So again, we need to now go through say level loader .instance.load level. This is for the gameplay, so our point of entry is the one we want to do for that. And the same again here. There we go. Again, a few more things to do with our singleton. We actually need to assign it. So I always put mine in the, whenever you assign a singleton, I always put it in the await method. So if I ever need to call it from another script, some start function, I can do that in the start method. So for in the await, just put an instance equals this, and then that's it, I think. So you should see now. Oh, there's one other thing as well. Because this is a singleton, we want this to keep alive between scenes. We need to make sure we don't destroy and load. So make sure this game object doesn't destroy and load. Now, some of you are probably saying there are some issues with this already, but I know, and we'll look at them in a second. But this is that's probably the most basic setup as you can do. And then you'll see if I'm at my point of entry and I click to load my level. Not set to an instance, you actually need to put it on the script. There we go. So load level, you see there we're loading, and mouse click, and we'll come back. Okay, but now the first problem is you'll see we now have 2 level loaders. And if I did it again, we now have 3 level loaders. And that's because it's don't destroy and load, but obviously when you reload a scene, it'll reload the original objects. So the first thing, to solve that problem, it's in your await method. You just put if instance not equal to null, then assign it. I want to say if it equals null, then assign it and don't destroy it. else destroy it. That'll make sure we'll only ever have one instance. So if we go back now, load level, and if we go back, you see we only have one level loader. We'll keep getting new ones. Yeah, so that's the setup. But then what you'll find is a lot of the time when you're in this, so you'll very rarely actually be on the menu thing. You'll be in your game making changes, and then you'll just want to test it. So you come to click play, but then you come to use your singletons, and none of them have been assigned because they're all in your point of entry. Really annoying. And then so that means you'd have to reload your point of entry level. And it just wastes time. It's just a nuisance and it's just annoying. But we can use dummies to get around this. So what we do first of all is we need to create an interface. So I'm just going to call this interface I level loader. And then add your method. So in this I can just load level string name. We're then also going to change this stack singleton to I level loader. Also don't forget to actually derive from I level loader. So as it is now, everything's all good. We know this would still execute just as it previously did. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create another class now. This is going to be level loader dummy. And again, we're going to extend this to I level loader. And as you see, that's coming up red because we haven't implemented our interface. So here's our dummy. Now, as I said before, in your actual singleton, you'll probably have some fancy, and if you were using the level logic, you'd have some fancy stuff here. But this can apply to any singleton, so it could be something to do with resolutions or audio or GUIs, I don't know, whatever you want. But the point is, in this method, you'd have some complex logic and how you actually want it to look. For dummies, on the other hand, though, you just use the bare minimum that it needs to do. So in this case, if it was a level loader, our bare minimum would be this. Exactly what it is above. And so that's it. That's our dummy. And then what we do is in our getter, use double question mark. That just means if the previous variable is null, execute the following statement. And we'll just say our instance equals a new dummy. Yeah. That just means so if we try and access our instance from somewhere, but our awake method hasn't been called and the instance hasn't been assigned, it'll just use our dummy instead. And then there's one more thing to do as well. This check, if we have assigned it as a dummy and then the await method runs, well, instance won't be equal to null, so destroy it. But we don't want that. We actually want it to set to the singleton. So in here we just need to put or underscore instance is level loader dummy. And then you'll see now if I run my game. So again, I'm in my level here. I'm not in my point of entry. And this is the level. So you see now if I left click, it comes back. Our level loader's there. We'll go to load our level, and our level loader now remains. So it's just a way of stopping getting these errors. And it just stops you having to go back to your point of entry every single time you make a change if you're using singletons, because I did that on a game and it was so annoying. But yeah, that's how you can use dummies to make your life a lot easier. Well, thanks for watching.